I mean, again, it's in court. We cannot determine the case here, but whether the Constitution of Ghana supersedes NDC's Constitution.
Oh yes, that one.
Exactly. If that is the case, then I mean, okay, assuming that I go independent, you're right, I'm not registered, and I decided I'm going to contest independent. So when there's a limited opportunity for registration, I go and register.
Yeah, that is possible. She can do that.
Exactly.
But in the first place, she wasn't a registered voter before she contested the NDC.
How on
not the national election.
Exactly.
You see, the point is
for me,
but this is exactly why they're in court.
Yeah, that's exactly why they're in court.
For me, the primaries shouldn't have been nullified because she's in the wrong in the first place.
Okay.
You know, for not being a registered voter and contesting on the party's ticket.
And that's why I'm saying that the party's constitution cannot supersede the Constitution of Ghana.
Yeah.
So if the party's constitution says that be registered before, you know, before...
And the constitution says that before the elections.
Yes.
Okay, I get your point. I get your
so
point.
Before elections, 2016, the woman would have been registered.
But there had been an election. There had been primaries. So
yes,
what I'm saying is
that
she has to be disqualified.
No, but what he's saying is that the national constitution supersedes the NDC constitution. Of course. So if the national constitution says that by the time you would have voted, that's November 7th,
you should be a registered voter.
No, but
by that time she has it.
Remember, the national constitution actually includes primaries. Not only
but the point is that she can't hold herself as a candidate until she's in the register.
The national
so she's not a candidate. She can't hold herself as a candidate.
The national, right as we speak now, there is no NDC parliamentary candidate for clerical.
No,
any other constituency in Ghana, because the Electoral Commission has not opened nomination and filing.
No,
and so
that's not the case.
Can I come?
You actually filed. You know, the candidates actually filed at the EC.
No, it hasn't been done yet.
EC.
No, that's for the primaries.
As we speak now, no parliamentary candidate has registered with the EC or filed nomination. So there is no parliamentary candidate for anyone. When the EC calls for registration, then all of them will then have to submit. It is there that that issue of the registered voter comes in. You know, and by that time, with their dates, you know, by that time they would have registered. I mean, April, they are opening limited registration opportunities. A senator will go and register. Somewhere in May, they open the chance for you to file. And that time he's gotten it.
Now,
so
let's assume.
So, we just need to hold on for a second.
Yeah, we'll take the
business news.
And
then
when
we'll
come back, I want to ask, I mean, this is practical. And you have to be very candid and frank and open about it. The two candidates, who would you prefer? The old Niyama or the young?
That was so biased. That was so biased. That was so prejudiced.
But he's old and Zanata is young.
We don't vote. I don't vote.
And the young, vibrant.
You don't have a stake in it.
Wait, say again. You said.
All right, Anna is
constituency.
But you can still share your opinion. You will share your opinion, dog. Okay.
No, but seriously, what I mean is that I'm not saying old as old, but he's older than Zanetta. Oh, Patrice, I'm crazy. No, but I mean, I've listened to both.
Young,
to be very honest, I've listened to both
vibrant,
people. I've listened to both people speak, and this one is young, vibrant.
Fresh ideas.
Fresh ideas,
appealing, dynamic,
sounds more intelligent than you know. Have you heard Niyama? You've heard Niyama on platforms.
Charlie.
No, if you were in that constituency and you wanted a representative, who would you choose?
Well, I mean, it's a very difficult question. But I think that you need to look at each of them, their strengths, I mean, and what they bring on board, and their ability to lead their people.
Because the other person can argue for experience. You know, she's been in parliament, she understands the parliamentary processes. And of course, you need experience hands in parliament.
She's a woman, don't you forget. We need more women in politics.
I am a subscriber of affirmative action. And I believe in parity, and I've always been arguing for parity. But of course, we've got to let people, you know, go through processes by merit. You know, not necessarily saying because you are. I think that is crucial. But you see, my problem is that.
Okay, hold on to your problem. Let's deal with the business and come back and we'll deal with your problem. Okay, Anna, take over now with the news.
Time now for some business updates.
And the Minister of Trade and Industry, Kobby Gabriel, says the criticism he received from parliamentarians for the temporary ban on the exportation of cashew nuts was triggered by pressure from the constituents in the areas the product is cultivated. Dr. Kobby Gabriel, who was speaking on Viasat 1's Current Affairs program, Ghana Reports, said the main aim of the ban was to revive the about 11 cashew processing companies in the country, of which only one is functional now.
The Trade Ministry was last week forced to back down on its directive banning the exportation of raw cashew nuts from Ghana following public outcry. Sector Minister Dr. Kobby Gabriel was also criticized in Parliament for issuing the directive, which he had argued was to boost the local processing sector and to create jobs. On Monday, Dr. Kobby Gabriel was on Viasat 1's Current Affairs program, Ghana Today, and attributed the public outcry to inadequate understanding of the issue.
Constituents of certain parliamentarians, especially those, I suspect, in the Brongafu area, where there are some 29 constituencies, both NDC and MPP, they would have had their constituents call them and express various forms of unhappiness. The MPs may or may not have had the opportunity to understand the
so you don't want to
issue
go
clearly.
He explained that the temporary ban was intended to revive the many dormant cashew processing industries in the country, which will invariably enhance the economy.
In some countries, the approach has been to provide a window, a certain period within a year, during which you attempt to encourage all growers to service your local industries. So if there are 12 months in a year, and you say for only two out of 12, please feed your raw materials to your local industries, and that for some reason is a problem, and then, well, I guess people don't want their industries to survive.
The Trade Minister says, though agriculture offers several employment opportunities, the industrial sector offers even more employment avenues.
We have 11 cashew processing plants which are lying idle, and most of them are in the Brongafu region. So much as the cashew farmer may be happy to get his money quickly from an Indian and intermediary broker or trader, he is forgetting that his brother and sister and uncle and nephew who are unemployed could be employed in the cashew processing plants. A cashew processing plant can employ far more people than any cashew plantation can employ.
The strong opposition to the ban was especially because it was within the main harvesting season of the produce.
The Volta River Authority, VRA, has revealed that it's negotiating with Ivorian power producers for the possible supply of power following the shutdown of the FPSO Kwame Nkrumah and the reduction in gas supply from the West African Gas Pipeline Company.
The shutdown, which began on March 20, is to enable routine maintenance works on the FPSO Kwame Nkrumah. The development has consequently cut down gas supply to the Ituabo plant, which feeds the Aboase Power Enclave. The Chief Executive Officer of the Volta River Authority, Kobby, says negotiations between Ghana and the Ivory Coast had already started over the possibility of receiving some extra power supply to bridge the current deficit arising from the shutdown of the FPSO. He disclosed that he, the Deputy Minister for Power, John Jinapo, and the Chief Executive of Gridco had been to the Ivory Coast and they were willing to supply. Mr. Kobby said over the weekend, Ivory Coast will be able to give Ghana enough as well as weekdays off peak. He also revealed that the VRA has made adequate preparations to have enough stock of crude oil to ensure the smooth operation of some thermal plants. He said they've got almost 1 million barrels, with 300,000 barrels for its plant in Tema, 400,000 to be discharged in Takoradi, with an extra 200,000 to be discharged again in Tema.
So the 2015 fiscal data released by the Finance Ministry indicates that government ended last year spending slightly less than the projected expenditure targets. Government, however, spent 300 million Ghana cedis more than the 10.2 million Ghana cedis projected for the year on the payment of salaries.
Government was hoping to spend 37.9 billion Ghana cedis at the end of December 2015. However, it ended the year 630 million Ghana cedis short of the projected expenditure. The marginal improvement can be attributed to gains made when it comes to the payment of SNIT contributions, total compensation for public sector employers, interest payments and capital expenditure. The figures show that, in most cases, the state managed to spend below what has been projected in the budget. The data also shows that government ended last year paying 9 billion Ghana cedis as interest on loans, as against 6.4 billion Ghana cedis on capital expenditure. On the payment of salaries, which has always been a challenge over the years, government spent 300 million Ghana cedis more than the 10.2 million Ghana cedis projected.
And that brings us to the end of the business segments this morning and the end of the news this morning. Over to you, Patrice and Kobby.
Thank you, Nana Joy.
Thank you much.
Thank you so much. So we're back in the studio.
We're back with the doctors.
Yeah, doctors,
yes.
And we're looking at the issue of Zanetto and all that.
Patrice's favorite
but
topic.
Did Zanetto think it was a PlayStation game that she was going into? That you can just pick up anything and then choose a game and then start playing and then you score and you win?
I'm sure she's aware that it's a serious game. I mean, it's a very
But before going in, wouldn't they have considered the fact that are you a registered voter? All these things should have been considered.
That's the surprising thing about it. I mean, during the primaries when it was said that they couldn't find her name in the electoral roll, I mean, the debate was that she was registered. She claimed that she had registered, but the party said your name wasn't there. Just like other people, like what called Ningo Pram Pram, for example. So perhaps it wasn't unique to her because the process was fraught with a lot of issues. So we can actually, sort of agree with her on that particular position. Perhaps she had registered, but as a result of the party's own laxities and things, we could actually find out. But I think what is intriguing for me, I think that there is some kind of imbalance in terms of the party's constitution and that of the national. We couldn't have one angle of the national constitution saying that if you're mentally not stable, you cannot vote. If you're below 18, you cannot vote. If your name is not in the electoral register, you cannot vote. And then on the other hand, the parties, seems to have an entirely different thing altogether. If your name is not in register, you cannot contest. You haven't registered. Simple as that. Okay. And for me, I think that we must look at aligning the party's constitution to the national constitution so that we don't have some of these gray areas. Right. For me, I believe that if you're not registered in the national electoral roll, you cannot contest for even the party primaries. You shouldn't be. Okay. I think so.
Well, I think that because of the way we have developed our system, I mean, you don't get registered every day. I mean, unlike elsewhere where we are used to, we can just go online and do register. But because of the way we have structured it, it will become very difficult for us to go along that path. What we can do is to go along what the Constitution stipulates, that before you contest an election, you must be a registered voter. And I think that in this case, the lady in question would likely register before election, and that settles the matter. But of course, there are instances where political parties have decided to even forgo some of their constitutional provisions to be able to meet specific agenda. And so, So I mean, he said that he's going to continue this and fight till the end. But we will leave the court to decide. I think that no matter what it is.
Thank you guys for this one. So we'll go to the next topic. But before then, my simple question again to Doc is that why wouldn't she join the NDP? If your father's party is not opening the door, go to your mother's party.
No, it's a possibility.
That's a decision for her.
To make.
NDP.
There are definitely options.
You see, as human beings, you want to look at where you can have
the father is not even in NDP.
No, the father is NDC.
Yes.
So NDC is shutting the door. Go to your mother's side.
Perhaps ideologically, she and the dad are aligned.
Perhaps.
So they believe in one cause. And then, of course, you definitely can have
Doc,
a family divided into...
Doc the Great. Voting or no voting. Did you see Niame's jacket? It was nice when he went to the court. The shoes that I was wearing was very nice. Did you see?
Let's talk about the scramble for ECG, shall we? It's on the front page of the Finder. Yes. The number of companies that have expressed interest in the private sector participation in Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, has jumped from 33 as of the end of 2015 to 42 companies as of March 2nd. The expression of interest comes from 14 foreign countries as well as Ghana. So you've got the United States of America, South Africa, the UK, France, Lebanon, India, Nigeria, Philippines. I mean, from all over the place. All of
ECG
these
is that viable? Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
at least
Yeah.
the concession that's being offered. Yeah, so you've got lots of private
Basically, it's
people
free
interested.
money.
But you've got to work. You've got to do some work for that money.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the market is virgin. You know, there's no player. So the people, the person who get the entry point, the first to enter, is basically going to be, because now we're considering IPP, independent power producers. Yeah. All right. And just like when, you know, remember in cycle 90s when we had the liberalization policy where the telecom was opened up, Millicom Ghana were the first to enter. And I'm sure they might have made a lot of gains in that. Now, if you open up the power sector to IPP, and the company that actually makes the first entry basically gets the best meat.
Right.
You know?
ECG is a monopoly.
Yes, at the moment.